involved, from Commissioner Petiti to the Big Ten, to everyone that was able to help put this together. I thought it was an amazing event. Unbelievable support for the players while they were here, the locker rooms, the gifts. It was a first-class event, so I'm very, very proud of that. Listen, I think Purdue's an excellent team, a legitimate top 15 team. I think we're close, we're just not there. I think some of it was youth. Some of it was my inability to get us ready to go out of the gate. And so much of what I was trying to do with this event is to get a program that just hasn't been in these environments, in an environment like this, so we can learn and grow. And that was a really important thing for me. So nothing to be embarrassed about. I thought we played really hard. I thought we were cruising in game 2. Our young lady broke her leg. So that's something that obviously changed some of the dynamic of the match. But that's sport, and we had people come in and do a really nice job of filling the gaps. Serving and passing was the difference. I thought they're well trained, they served well, they passed well, put a lot of pressure on us, and we had a couple performances tonight that I think some players would like to have back. So on the whole, incredibly proud of the program for being in this position. Not a situation where we're going to pout or spend much time about, it wasn't the Super Bowl, it was the 7th match of the Big Ten season. We can grow, we can develop, we'll keep getting better. And I was incredibly proud to be part of a pretty special event tonight.
Steve, Ella, it looked like she came down upright, but then hit the base of the stand. My vantage point was walking. Can you just kind of describe what happened?
Yeah, she just hit a wide slide, landed on the stanchion, and fractured her leg. So she's a really, really strong kid physically. We'll get imaging. We'll take a look at it. We'll see what's going on tomorrow. Obviously, your heart goes out to the kid because she's an Indiana kid who has really turned into a pretty darn good player and was cruising and doing some good stuff. So, but it's sport. You know what I mean? I think it happens. I've been doing this long enough to know when stuff like that happens, you've got to have depth. You got to have people come off the bench and be able to compete. So, I feel terrible for her. At the same time, the season goes on.
You want me to?
Please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dana with the Indianapolis Star. I noticed a really great chemistry between Victoria and Teodora, and I just wanted to see if you could kind of expound on that.
Yeah, T, this would have been the first time in this country that she played in an arena like this. She's a really, really good player. We start 4 and 5 freshmen, and those kids have been together now for 2 months, and I think they're not scared. They're a joy to be around. They're really good kids. I think the future's super bright. I think whether it's Jaden or any of the libero kids we had playing tonight. We start 4, 5, 6 freshmen at times, and we got a little young at certain positions. But at the same time, I thought they played really well and competed. And Indiana fans should be excited about the future.
And which leg was it that was broken, right or left?
It's her right.
Right. Okay.
You kind of mentioned this in your opening statement, but talk about the thought behind doing this match. You gave up a true home game to do it, to make it, rather than Purdue still gets their home game. So your match was a home game. Is that going to flip? Do it in the future next year? Are you going to, instead of doing 2 home matches, or what was the thought behind giving up the home game, and will you do this again given the success of it?
The initial conversations were with Commissioner Petiti. He really likes events. He's an incredibly bright guy. Then the Big Ten and the Cambridge folks had availability, and then both schools were kind of offered the opportunity to do it. Purdue's been good for 30 years. I mean, I was in college when Dave, took over that program, and they were Sweet 16 good. So they've been good for a really long time. We've been trying to get better and get in a position where we could be in events like this. I thought it was super important for our program. I thought it was important for the kids. I thought it was really important for the development of our program. I don't anticipate they'll ever want to do it. They'll sell out Mackey, and they have great support at Mackey. But for us, I thought it was good for the program. I thought it was good for the sport, the right thing to do for the sport. And I have no regrets about doing it. I thought it was a fantastic event.
Steve, you kind of alluded to this, but you've known Dave a long time, you've known the Shondells a long time. What is it about this program where people thought with the transfers he lost in the portal, it was going to be a down year, and that's been quite the opposite?
Yeah, he's an elite coach. It's an elite coach, elite program. The beauty of college athletics now is that every year is a new team. And you can lose 6 or 8 kids, and you can go to the portal and you can bring in 6 or 8 kids. A lot of the kids that we're playing against are veteran kids that have played a lot of really high level volleyball, and they've done a really good job of meshing and putting that stuff together. They've always been good at training. you know, I grew up in Toronto, and my dad fixed furnaces, and you know, his dad was Don Shondell. So you know, they've been in a position in the state for a long time. That was pretty impressive and awesome, and good on them. When I took the job, IU had won one match. So I'm not in the comparison business, but I put blinders on and high five to the Shondell crew, all 100 of them, or how many are in the state, and we'll just keep doing what we do and chopping wood.
I know you have a couple of transfers too. When you get to a week like this, these rivalry weeks, is there any extra discussion about that within the program, just bringing those people up to speed, those players up to speed, and what the rivalry means for the program or for the Big Ten, things like that?
Yeah, I think Purdue likes to lean into the rivalry because they've won so much. You know, for us, it's the 7th match of the Big Ten. You know, I know it's an important thing for Indiana folk with basketball and with football. We need to get to the point where we're good enough to make it a rivalry. You know, so we haven't won enough for me to think it's a rivalry. They own it. They've done a great job, and again, hats off to them. They've built a great program. I was just in a different position when I took the job. I think we've come a long way. I think we're a top 25 team. We've got back-to-back top 15 recruiting classes over the next few years. I feel like we've come a long way, and I want to make sure that that's not lost in the translation. The transfer kids and we've got 7 freshmen, a couple new additions, a beach player from UCLA who's a 5th-year kid. So in our own way, we've had a lot to remake and remaster as well, and super proud of the compete level there.
I know you had to scout Kenna Woolard before tonight, and obviously she got going in the first set, but I guess 2 parts. One, what have you seen from her just from this year? And then how did you guys shut her down in the second set?
I mean, she's a good athlete. She's got good range. She moves the ball around a lot. After game 2, I thought she might have been hitting 180 or 190. I thought we had her right where we wanted her. But good teams and good players get theirs. You know, we didn't have quite enough. Candela was off a little bit tonight. She's an awfully good player, but her numbers weren't awesome. And you know, the Tatum was good, and Jager was good. So, kind of our third pin didn't have the same numbers, and she, when you look at their box score, kind of was it. You know, so we were around it. We tried to make her night a challenge, but she's done that. I mean, she had 14 or 15 kills against Nebraska. Last time I checked, they're awfully good. So I think she's a good player.
Coach, here in the back, first volleyball match ever to be played inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. What do you think an event like this does for the sport of college volleyball and volleyball in general?
Yeah, I think it's great. And again, comparison's the thief of joy. You know, like you see the Nebraska football stadium at 93,000 people and people selling out arenas. The fact that we just had a match in this state in an NBA arena and the energy was great, the crowd was great, I think means a lot. You know, means a lot for me that both teams were ranked. You know, like I told you, it's been a real journey over the last 6-7 years to try to build a program. And you know, I just remember being young watching Dave coach Purdue at Penn State when I was there, and I was like, they were really, really good. They've been really, really good for 20 plus years. You know, our goal is to try to get a little bit better every year, and I think we're doing that. And hopefully we can come back, play another match here. I thought it was great.
Hey Coach, what do you hope that your players take away from this match moving forward and trying to improve in these high pressure situations, especially coming from a lot of road games and possibly not getting as much rest as you might need for?
Yeah, that's fair. We've been on the road a bunch. You know, we had a 3-1 in the last road trip. We swept the LA schools and then beat a really good Michigan team. You know, we're 14-3. You know, there won't be a lot of crying tonight. You know, I'll see my family and say, hey, we didn't get it done, and then you worry about Ohio State on Sunday. And that's the nature of the Big Ten. Sometimes you get boat raced by good teams, and sometimes you find a way to win. But, you know, I'm proud that we took the shot at it. More than anything, I'm proud we took the shot at it. You know, it would have been really easy to stay on campus and not go for it, but I tell these kids all the time, you know, life is about taking big swings. And tonight didn't work out for us, but I'm incredibly proud of the whole ecosystem, from Scott Dolson to our administration to everyone around the program for being brave enough to go take a swing at it.
Thank you.
Cool.
Coach, thank you very much.